Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Blue and Nicholas, back with another video. And today we're going to be reviewing another video from Nick Digiovanni, Tonkotsu Ramen. 10 million views. Posted in May 9th, 2021, which is like about 2 years ago. 324k likes. And also 13,247 comments. That is pretty impressive. And he now has 12.4 million subscribers. So subscribe to Nick Digiovanni to get him to 20 million so he can catch up to Gordon Ramsay. But without further ado, let's take a look at today's video.
Ramen. Ramen. I've been wanting to make this.
Hang on guys, we have too many ads coming up.
Ramen. I've been wanting to make this forever. And to be completely honest with you, I've been holding off a little bit just because of how much time goes into making something like this. I mean, to give ramen that tender love and care that you need to give it in order to make it perfect, I just haven't yet had the time for that. But now is the time. I know so many of you have asked for ramen for so long.
Yes, so Nick Digiovanni today in this video is going to be making Tonkotsu Ramen.
So today, we're making Tonkotsu Ramen. Tonkotsu.
Wait, what did he say? What did he say? He just said tonkatsu. Nick, do you mean tonkotsu? In Japanese, ton, the word ton means pork, and kotsu means bone. So tonkotsu ramen makes sense. It's pork bone ramen. To prove it, I'm just gonna Google Translate it. Okay. Hang on. Yes, it clearly says Tonkotsu ramen means pork bone ramen. But he said katsu, which means it relates to cutlet. Kotsu and katsu basically mean different things. Nick, can you please say it properly? It's supposed to be tonkotsu, not tonkatsu.
Ramen is a fan favorite. And you may not recognize that word, but trust me, you know exactly what it is. It's that ramen with that rich and fat pork broth. Those beautiful, soft, chewy, fresh noodles, and ooey gooey soft egg cooked to perfection. Beautiful, juicy pork belly, and whatever toppings you want.
Yes, I always remember eating ramen with perfect broth, the chewy ramen noodles, and soft boiled eggs, and the beautiful chashu pot belly. I loved it.
Now, because this recipe is gonna take me quite some time, I've already started a couple things, but I started them yesterday. I had a different haircut, there was different weather outside, but I had to get a couple of those steps done before to make sure this could come together today. So for now, let's pop back to yesterday, when I hadn't shaved yet and when I had longer hair, and we'll go to an Asian market. So we've just pulled up to this Asian grocery store. We are going to be grabbing some unique and awesome ingredients here because I need to really make sure that this broth, delicious.
Okay, so we're currently at an Asian grocery store, going to get the ingredients for tonkotsu ramen.
So the first things we're going to grab is a bunch of pork bones and chicken bones for that really flavorful stock.
Yep, pork bones and chicken bones. Yeah, that's perfect.
This place literally, they have everything in this market. These black silky chickens.
Black chickens? Oh my god. I have never actually seen black chickens before. I mean, I have seen white chickens before, but I've never seen black chickens before. I mean, these chickens are literally black, opposite of those white chickens.
There's so many cool things here. Then we're gonna grab a couple of duck wings and chicken wings.
Duck wings and chicken wings? I mean, chicken wings is okay, but Nobody uses duck wings in tonkotsu.
Separately. All the fish that they have in this place are alive in tanks. They got some real plump melons in this place, let me just tell you. I'm not able to read some of this stuff, so I'm having a little bit of trouble finding mirin, but I know where the soy sauce is. In an attempt to make this more flavorful broth, I'm gonna put some dried mushrooms in there as well, and they have this massive selection. I don't know what gorgeous memory means. So I'm looking for enoki mushrooms, which are these really nice thin ones that you might see in ramen sometimes.
Yes, enoki mushrooms. I've seen a lot of these before.
So we got those. I think we found them.
Oh, shiitake mushrooms.
They have all the soy sauce in the world. I could absolutely bathe in this stuff.
Yes, according to Google, Asia has the most soy sauce in the entire world.
It is like -8 million degrees in here. I'm frigid.
Oh, perhaps you should join team. Perhaps you should join my girlfriend. She's frigid as well.
Praise the mirin gods. We finally got it. The beautiful, the sweet nectar of the mirin gods.
Yeah, baby. Alright, now we're checking out.
Like, oh wait, there's no space in there. Basically, we couldn't get the pork belly at the last place, but I got it in front of the Whole Foods guy. I'm standing there waiting. He's like, hey man, this is weird, but has anyone ever told you you look kind of like the guy that throws the knives on the internet? I was like, actually, happens to be me. But we got the pork belly, so let's get home and make some ramen. Let me just tell you, and I mean this in the least perverted way possible, there's nothing like a good Japanese eggplant.
Yes, a Japanese eggplant, so sexy and beautiful, just like my sexy leg. Literally just like my sexy leg. Sorry.
Gotta find a place to put this for the drive.
Wait, what?
Like a good Japanese eggplant. Gotta find a place to put this for the drive.
Oh, ugh. Wish I didn't have to see that. Nick, apologize to the audience, bruh.
So now that we've returned from the store, I'm gonna start making that amazing ramen broth because to me that's the most important thing that we're working with here. I'm actually doing this the day before, but let's just get it going. First, into this large pot here, I'm gonna go in with all my chicken wings.
Okay, chicken wings.
That's gonna give us just some of the flavor here that we're looking for, but I'm gonna get it from 3 different proteins. Next, I'm gonna start taking these pork hocks that we got from the Asian grocery store and dropping these right in with our chicken.
Pork hocks? I mean, no, we don't use pork hocks in Tonkotsu Ramen, bro. We use pork bones and maybe chicken bones, but we don't use pork hocks, though.
As you can see here, there is some meat on the outsides there, but you've got a nice big chunk of bone in there that's gonna give us tons and tons of flavor. Once I've tossed in all those pork bones, make sure you don't put this thing in there, I'm gonna go ahead and add my last bit of protein in there, which are duck wings.
Duck wings. Nobody ever used duck wings for tonkotsu, bro. We use pork bones and maybe chicken bones, but I think Nick just wanted to kill all those animals. Why don't you put pig wings in there as well?
These again should give us some awesome, unique flavor. Now, I'm gonna cover all of this up with some nice cold and crisp water, then crank up the heat and bring this to a nice rolling boil, which will get out a bunch of the nasty impurities. Once this has come to a rolling boil, clear off some of the scum that begins to form on the top. Some people will tell you to rinse this all the way out, but I like to keep all the flavor that's still in there from the bone, so I don't like to rinse it out.
Bro, no, you have to rinse out, bro. Otherwise, your broth is gonna end up becoming so dirty, man. Bro, look at your water. Look at your water. It's so pink already because there's so many scum in animal and chicken, pork and chicken bones, pork bones and duck wings. I don't know. You have to soak the water overnight, then rinse the water away, then clean your bone and then start over with fresh water. I'm assuming that Nick Digiovanni's Tonkotsu Ramen broth is gonna look so dirty. Let's see if I'm correct.
Once you cleared off the scum, we're gonna add in a nice big handful of white mushrooms, a handful of those dried shiitake mushrooms that we got at the market, which will hopefully give us that umami flavor, then a few nice knobs of ginger, 1 quartered onion, a few cloves of garlic, and last but not least, a generous little handful of salt. Now is when we let this go overnight for 12 hours. This is gonna do all the work for us while we go to sleep.
Yeah, okay, 12 hours. 12 hours overnight. That's good.
Next, we'll do our chashu pork belly. That part, of course, is really important. Whenever you see ramen with a nice big hunk of pork in there, that's what we're talking about right now. Now, this part you don't have to do overnight, but I'm gonna sous vide it to get it really soft and tender.
Ooh, sous vide it, man. This guy's pretty fancy.
So I'm gonna let this go overnight as well. This pork has been very bad. So we
Oh, what the fuck?
So I'm gonna let this go overnight as well. This pork has been very bad.
Bro, what in the fuck? Bro, what? Ew. Bro. Don't spank your dinner don't spank your pork like that. Can't you just like get a room and just spank your girlfriend instead? Leave the poor pork alone, bro.
So we have to tie it up. First, I'm gonna roll it all the way up just like this, getting it as tight as I possibly can. Then I'm gonna come under it with some butcher's twine, and then tying as snugly as possible, I'm gonna give it a really good squeeze. This way, we can cut it into nice rings when we go to have our ramen. We're gonna repeat this process across our entire pork belly. For our sous vide, the first thing we'll do is put this finely rolled up pork into a nice large bag. To the bag, we're gonna add 4 cloves of garlic, a few hunks of ginger, 3 loosely chopped green onions, 1 cup of soy sauce.
Soy sauce good.
Try to make it a nice high-end soy sauce. 1 cup of mirin, which is a really delicious sweet rice seasoning that's a little bit similar to sake in flavor. 1/3 cup of this extremely pungent fish sauce.
Fish sauce sounds quite weird.
A nice little handful of white sugar, about half a cup or so, and really anything else you want to be creative with. Then inside the bag, we're gonna massage the heck out of our meat.
Stop it, man. What the fuck, bro? Are you making a cooking video or an auditioning for Bang Bros? Stop it, man. Bro, stop! Are you literally making a cooking video or an auditioning for Bang Bros? I don't even know, bro. What the fuck are you doing right now?
Now, we're gonna roll this up extremely tight and seal it. And now, with our water at 175 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm gonna slowly lower in that pork and cook this overnight for about 12 to 15 hours.
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna sous vide overnight as well for 12 to 15
In the morning, we should have the softest pork ever. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, we can't wait to have the softest pork in the entire world.
Okay, it's the next morning. I was tending to that ramen broth throughout the night.
Oh, really? I thought you'd be spanking your own girlfriend or something.
I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's in that silver pot back there. I kept adding water throughout the night as it boiled off to allow the broth to get even more concentrated. And my entire kitchen smells incredible, not to mention that slow-cooked pork that's all the way over there. We had so many things going on in here that we blew the fuse 3 times last night. But now, we're ready to go about the rest of those steps. So let's start with our soft-boiled eggs. Now that our water's boiling, we're ready to add those eggs. But first, we're gonna add about a tablespoon or 2 of vinegar, which is actually gonna prevent running of the whites if any of these eggs crack.
Running of the whites. That's what running of the whites. That is what I call I call my friends like that. Running of the whites, because they are white.
At this point, we're gonna quickly add our 6 eggs, and then almost immediately we're gonna start our timer, because the timing here is extremely important. I'll drop in my 6 eggs, burning my fingers in the process, place on the lid, and then I'm not sure if you can see the timing here, but we're gonna do it for 6 minutes and 9 seconds, which I promise you, it sounds silly, but it's the perfect time for a soft-boiled egg.
6 minutes, 9 seconds. Oh my god. I can't. Another fucked up joke. by this man. I literally cannot believe that this guy is literally more dirtier than my girlfriend herself.
Start. Once that time runs low, we're gonna prepare to cold shock our eggs, because given how precise these are, we don't want them to overcook. Here I have a really cold ice bath, and when the eggs are done, I'll plunge them straight into the ice bath to halt their cooking. We're timing them precisely for a reason here. So once those are all in the ice bath, mix them around a little bit to make sure they're evenly coated. For our ramen egg marinade, we'll combine 3/4 cup of mirin, 1/4 cup soy sauce, and 1/4 cup dark soy sauce.
Dark soy sauce, okay.
If you can't find dark soy sauce, that's fine. Just add a little bit of brown sugar.
Yeah, for those who do not have dark soy sauce, you can use brown sugar as well.
And try not to spill it all over your shoe.
Don't worry, Nick. I won't spill it all over my shoe. You don't even need to tell me twice.
Now it's time to peel our eggs, but I just wanted to show you guys first how perfect that yolk on the inside is. I told you, it's amazing.
Yeah, that kind of looks amazing. But for whatever reason, I feel like I need a shower after watching this video.
Now we're going to quickly peel these eggs, trying not to ruin them in the process. And I actually find that it helps to peel them right over and in that cold water. Now, once you have those perfectly peeled eggs, drop them right in that soy bath. That's where that color and flavor will permeate right through the eggs. Once you finish peeling all of those eggs, you're going to want to somehow weigh them down so they get even coloring throughout. I'll cover these with plastic wrap and allow them to soak for several hours.
Wait a minute. Guys, look, if you use plastic wrap like that, the top of the egg would not be marinated because it's touching the plastic, not the liquid. Pro tip, use a paper towel, like how the Way of Ramen channel do with the eggs.
Our eggs are all set. Next, we're gonna make our tare. It's a really...
Oh, tare. I can feel like this is already better than Jamie Oliver and Nigella Lawson's ramen. Tare is the soul of ramen. It's the flavoring for the broth.
Concentrated flavoring used in a lot of Japanese soups as kind of a base. And we're gonna add it to our broth to give it a little bit more flavor. First, we're gonna start with our dashi.
Okay, dashi, okay.
And there are 5 different types of dashi in Japanese cuisine: kombu, katsu, iriko, shiitake, and awase.
Yeah, there are definitely 5 types of Japanese dashi, like kombu, katsu, iriko, shiitake, and awase.
I apologize if I pronounced any of those incorrectly, but awase is the one we're going to be doing, and that's a combination of several.
Okay, so he's going to be doing the awase dashi.
So to start, we're going to turn up the heat and add about 3.5 to 4 cups of water. Now, into that water, we're going to start with 3 sheets of kombu, and
okay,
really let this heat up to start getting some of the flavor out, but we don't want to boil it.
Yeah, that's right. Don't boil kombu, guys.
We're actually looking to get around 170 degrees Fahrenheit here. Basically, dashi is this umami-packed Japanese soup stock. It's used in so many different things, and this is how we're going to build the foundation for our tare.
Bro, what? So this guy really loves close-ups of his hand. There's so many actions of his hand going around. Imagine if I make a cooking video and the only thing you see is my hand. How would you feel like?
Now that our kombu has had some time to soak and is getting a little bit softened, I can really take in all that flavor. Actually, I want to get in a quick facial. We're not filming, right? No. Okay. Oh my god. Now it's time to add a few more things.
What?
What I have here is called naboshi, which are these dried baby sardines. I've been soaking these sardines overnight, so first I'll pour these into our broth, or our tare I should say, followed by about...
It's the tare, not the broth.
About a cup of bonito flakes, which, if you've never heard of them, are from a fish, as well as a little handful of our dried shiitake mushrooms. Now, I'll be totally honest. I'm not sure if what I'm doing right now is permissible under Japanese ramen laws, but the way I see it, I'm packing in tons of umami flavor here and making for an even more flavorful broth. I'm also using ingredients that would be used in a traditional dashi regardless. Once this has had some good time to soak, I'll turn off the heat and set it aside, allowing it to soak a little bit longer. Once that incredible dashi is done, and I can't even begin to describe the flavors coming out of this thing, we'll strain it into a nice large...
Oh, some liquid fell out. Don't waste food.
...bowl. The broth that's here smells incredible, and it already feels like this itself would be a delicious treat to slowly sip. But now, keeping about 2 cups of our dashi, we'll create our tare by adding 1 cup of soy sauce,
Okay, soy sauce.
1 cup of mirin.
Mirin.
1/2 cup of sake.
Sake. Okay, so this tower looks like it got so much umami, so there's no need for MSG.
2 tablespoons vinegar.
Vinegar.
6 cloves of garlic, which I'll press through my garlic press to let them spread and get out more and more flavor. And by the way, if you like using garlic but hate getting it on your fingers, I would highly recommend a garlic press. About a 2-inch piece of cut up ginger, and then about 2 tablespoons of black peppercorns. Now we're gonna let our tare sit just like the eggs to kind of soak in all of these flavors, and we'll strain it at the last minute. Now for our ramen.
Alright, now for our ramen noodles.
I don't know what I just did with my hands. I don't know why I did that. We're gonna start by adding 6 grams of baking soda to 160 grams of water. Then we're gonna whisk this up and let it go. You see, ramen noodles are very interesting. The first thing I'll say is please do not use dry instant ramen noodles. This is an absolute no-go.
Correct. Never use instant ramen noodles. And also, don't use soba like Jamie Oliver. But to be honest with you guys, I really highly do not recommend you making ramen at home.
Don't worry, I'm still gonna eat that. Ramen.
Okay. At least he's still gonna eat that. I thought he was gonna let it go to waste.
Noodles are very different in that they need to be alkalinated. That's basically just a fancy way of saying that we put baking soda in the dough.
Small correction, guys. Baking soda is called sodium bicarbonate. But for ramen, you're gonna need sodium carbonate. I passed my chemistry exam, by the way.
But another trick is to boil regular spaghetti with 8 cups of water and a couple tablespoons of baking soda in it. That can also get you those nice chewy noodles that we look for in ramen. Once all that baking soda is mixed in, we'll add a nice little sprinkle of salt and mix that in as well until dissolved. Then we'll set our water aside. And now in a large mixing bowl, we're gonna add about 400 grams of bread flour and 4 grams of vital wheat gluten. The vital wheat gluten you may have to order online if you wanna make these homemade, but again, you can take the easy route and boil spaghetti in that baking soda water.
Yeah, you can choose to make homemade ramen, or you can just take the easy road by boiling spaghetti in baking soda water.
Now, we'll whisk this up until it's well combined, making sure that that wheat gluten is evenly distributed. And now we'll add this bowl to our mixer with the paddle attachment, and churning slowly, I'll add in about half of my water to let this get evenly distributed. It should start to get nice and crumbly, and once those crumbles start to get more even, you can prepare to put that second batch of water in. Now we'll add in that second amount of water, letting this evenly soak into our dough. It should start to come together more at this point. And if you do need to add a little bit of extra water to let that dough come fully together, do it. Once this is clumpy and well combined, we'll turn off our mixer and let it rest, cover with plastic wrap for 30 minutes. Once that dough has had some time to rest, separate it out into 2 separate balls and press them together. What's nice about this dough is that you don't have to knead it. After we've rolled it out a little bit with our rolling pin, you gotta love a good handy rolling pin.
Nick, please. I hope you would not use the rolling pin to slap your friends' butts, bro.
We'll begin to roll out our noodles. Again, this is going to be extremely dry, but just be confident with it and let the mixer do all the work. After rolling it through, take a little bit of bread flour and sprinkle that across your ramen dough. Then, roll it again. We just want to get it nice and smooth to the point that we can make some gorgeous noodles. Again, this dough is really hard to work with because it's a little bit dry and it's also very glutinous. So to be honest, if there's any step that I'd skip in making homemade ramen and you're a little bit nervous about it, I'd probably skip this part. Once you've rolled this out nearly all the way, we're ready to cut it into that spaghetti shape. Switch on that spaghetti head, and then you're ready to roll. Give yourselves a huge pat on the back.
I have to say, that is impressively good.
Right now, because what you're looking at right here are your gorgeous homemade ramen noodles. I have to say, I've never done this before, but these look absolutely fantastic. In fact, I could almost use them as a nice scarf. Just toss them over myself and walk around like this in public. I think people would like me this way.
Yeah, I think so too. You look fancy in that ramen noodle scarf.
Now once you've cut your ramen into nice portions, spin that ramen into nice little nests and hit it with a nice spray of bread flour, just so nothing sticks. Now our ramen is ready to be cut.
Okay, our ramen is done.
Right here is our 20...
What? What? What the... Bruh? That is disgusting, bro. Why does this ramen broth look like this? This really looks like a word kill. Tonkotsu broth is not supposed to look like dirt water, bro. What the fuck? Guys, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what real Tonkotsu Ramen really looks like. If your ramen broth looks like this, you've definitely messed it up. I was correct. I predicted that his ramen broth would be so dirty. He never washes his bones. He never throws the water out, and he just never cleans the water. This broth is exactly as dirty as Nephew Nick's brain.
4-hour ramen broth. You can see that it's been going for so long that we have that darker, more robust color.
Oh, so bad.
That pork, chicken, and duck are more tender than anything you've ever seen before.
They're not tender, they're just disgusting now. Oh.
The bones have been fully cleaned of all their meat. And what we have right here is a complex, fatty, umami-packed broth. Perfect for ramen.
No, it's not perfect for ramen. It's perfect for the trash can though.
We're gonna strain off all this broth to make it nice and smooth.
Even if you strain it, you can't strain out the brown color. There's nothing you can do to save it now, bro.
As we don't want any of these solids in the final product. I like to use a really fine strainer here just to make sure that we're getting every last solid out. And now what you see here is our broth. Concentrated, delicious, and ready to go.
No, it's disgusting. It looks disgraced, and it's ready to go into hell, bro.
Next we have our chashu, which is our Japanese pork belly that we need to cut.
Alright.
Let's hear that again, folks.
For whatever reason, I don't like that sound, bro.
There's
Another ad, guys. Comment down below if you actually own the iPhone 15 Pro.
There's going to be juice everywhere here. I know that this is going to be messy. You know what time it is. It's time to get our hands dirty. Now, I'm going to very gently come in and try to lift out this pork belly without it breaking on me. You can see that it's just falling right apart here. Oh my god, that's good. That is so good. I'm gonna start by adding some of that excess liquid into our pot here, because we can use some of that in our ramen broth too.
No, bro, you can't use that in your ramen broth. Who uses the pork liquid as the ramen broth? The answer is no one. No one will ever use that, bro.
As this has more pork flavor than anything we could possibly imagine. Now, I'll roll this onto our counter. What you're looking at here is pork belly that's cooked the entire night. The whole thing is so jiggly. This right here is fall apart pork belly. Just look at this piece of fat here that can crumble right across my gloves. And the meat pulls right out of the sides. Even our cloves of garlic here fall right apart in your hands. This pork is something out of my dreams. It is dripping juice and it is so incredibly hot. You can see where each of the pieces of butcher's twine are still on here, but I just can't help it. I have to spank it.
Spanking again. Disgraced.
Lastly though, I do want you to look at the meat on the sides there. You can see that all that pork is almost shredded, like this soft, perfectly tender pulled pork. To everybody watching right now, if you're not drooling right now, I'm sorry. I don't know how I can ever please you. I don't know if you'll be able to watch my videos anymore, because this is just about the best I think I can do.
Yeah, that is pretty good. I'm really drooling right now.
Pork belly, it's been a pleasure getting to know you these last 24 hours, but now it's time to
wait, no, dude, don't cut the pork belly when it's hot, dude. Oh, it's not solid enough. You have to take the pork belly out and chill it overnight, and then cut it when it's colder. First, you spank the pork belly, and now you cut the pork belly when it's warm. What on earth has the pork belly done to deserve this, bruh? Oh, man.
Oh, pork belly. I didn't mean to do that. I am sorry. Now for our ramen, we want these beautiful rings cut out of this pork belly. So let's get a couple of nice slices just right through here. You know, it's funny. It's almost so soft and tender that I can't really get any slices.
See? What did I tell you? What did I tell you, huh?
But given how tender this is the best we're gonna do here. And that looks just like what you'd see in a ramen bowl. So that's good enough for me. Once I've pulled off the pork belly's thong, I can get a few more good slices in. But again, inside,
like
I'm laughing because it's almost too tender to do what we're looking to do with it.
You're just making pulled pork now, dude. This is not chashu anymore. Ugh.
Once you've gotten a couple nice slices that can go in your ramen bowls, we're all set to prepare the rest of the ingredients and make this ramen. While we have you here, I want to give you one last sense of how delicate this is. Watch how easily my knife goes through this. Not, just kidding. We don't need a knife. Look at that pulled pork.
That really disgraced me so much.
Now to finish off our tare, which is of course a very important part of this, we're first going to strain out all those little things that we added in there for that extra flavor. Then we'll add a little bit of that pork liquid, just to give a little bit of extra pork flavor in there.
Nobody uses the pork liquid for their tare, dude. What the fuck are you doing?
And last but not least, what I have here is shiro miso, which I'm actually going to open up and add a few tablespoons of directly to my tare.
Okay, miso, that's really nice. I really like miso a lot.
In addition to that miso flavor, of course. That's actually going to give us that nice cloudiness that we look for in a really good miso broth. So once I whisk this up, our tare is all set. We can set this aside.
Okay, our tare is done.
Now what I have here are enoki mushrooms. And these are quick and easy, just a nice topping to put on our ramen. I'll very simply chop off the base, which has those dirty areas on it, and then just steam these beauties off for a few minutes, and they're ready to go. Now it's time to finally open up those soft-boiled eggs.
Okay, now for our eggs. Let's see what it looks
like. And I know you've probably been waiting for this moment. First, let's cross our fingers that we got that color from those eggs. Sure enough, we did. Just to show you a little spot on the top of the egg that was not submerged.
Ah, guys, look. I predicted this as well, guys.
Should give you that contrast to show you how amazingly well this got colored with our soy. Now, for one of the most exciting things, we're gonna cut through that egg. Very clean and keeping all of that yolk inside.
That texture looks good. Very good.
As you can see, the outsides of the egg have clearly gotten some of that soy. And boy oh boy aren't those yolks incredible. Just look at how soft and amazing it is. When cutting these open, use a really sharp knife to get that nice clean cut. Now we've reached the final shot, where we assemble. I know this is the moment you've all been waiting for, so let's get started.
His hand again, bro. I just hate to see this guy talking with his hands.
To start, after mixing it around a little bit, I'll place in a nice spoonful or two of my tare. Again, that's gonna give that beautiful umami broth base here. Then comes my actual broth. The whole top layer is fat.
It's dirty broth.
That beautiful pork fat that we're looking for in our broth. And with this, I'll take several large scoops right into my big bowl. This right here is what we all came for.
No. Well, this is not what everybody is here for, bro.
We worked so incredibly hard on this gorgeous broth. So it's amazing to finally be able to put it into the bowl. One more scoop, and we should be complete.
Dirty broth. Disgusting.
Now you might be wondering, where are the actual ramen noodles? Those should be placed into this hot broth immediately when they finish. So,
Wait. What?
Now you might be wondering, where are the actual ramen noodles? Those should be placed into this hot broth immediately when they finish. So,
you say the ramen noodles should be placed immediately, but you haven't even prepared the ramen to go into it. Does the word immediately mean something else, bruh? You have to prepare everything beforehand and then before assembling. Don't cook the ramen after you start plating, otherwise the broth is gonna get cold.
Into this pot, I will pour a bunch of boiling water, unsalted, and once it's boiling over very high heat, I'll toss in our ramen. I'll stir this around just to make sure none of it sticks, and then for just a minute and 30 seconds or so, we'll let this cook. Admire how amazing my homemade noodles are.
That's really soft, I like it.
And after 1 or 2 shakes, put it directly into my ramen broth.
That is amazing.
This already looks incredible. And now we're ready for that final plating. So in go our enoki mushrooms.
That's so much enoki, bro. I feel like you're having enoki with side of ramen.
evenly spaced out for a beautiful little look on the side. Then we'll go right in the middle with those gorgeous eggs. Then we have our beautiful pork, which will rest right on the side.
It's pulled pork, not chashu.
Side of our ramen. Then a nice generous handful of green onions. And last but not least, some nori that I've actually gotten straight
Nori. The nori's kind of in a weird shape, bro.
from Japan. And that right there is one of the most gorgeous ramen bowls I've ever seen. Now, before we eat this, I want to paint the pork in a little bit more fat. And then just give it a little torch for some
Oh, okay. That's good.
color and flavor.
Torching's good, but don't touch the pork next to the egg. You're gonna burn the egg by accident. Your house is so big, by the way. Just go find some other place to touch your pork, bro.
Now our ramen is ready to eat. Now before I eat, I do want to say that this is one of the most beautiful bowls of ramen I've ever seen. And yes, I feel like I'm saying that often with things we make, but think about how much time and effort goes into all these things.
Well, I do have to say this ramen is still better than Jamie Oliver and Nigella's ramen because he actually made the tare, and he made ramen noodles from scratch, which is not an easy task. But Nick, remember, tonkotsu broth is supposed to be white, creamy, sexy, not like brown water. So Nick, I would suggest you to next time to clean your broth and do not cut the pork belly when it's hot. And please, no more spanking in cooking videos. I guess that's it for today, guys.